AI Ta for telling a date the truth on why I harshly rejected them. I went on 4 or 5 dates with this guy I met on Hinge. We hit it off really well at first. He was funny and smart, and our conversation would go for hours on end. For preface, I'm Chinese and he's white. During the first 1 to 3 dates, he would make offhanded racist remarks about Asian people, i.e. Chinese people eating dog, Thailand have ladyboys, etc. But he was obsessed with Japan. Insane, I know. He loves everything Japan. The food, the language, the culture, and thinks of himself as an awesome samurai warrior, just because he took a single samurai class in Japan. I brushed off the first 2-3 comments, because he seemed really nervous and babble, and I wasn't sure if I was going crazy because he'd immediately move on to another joke. I have told him in all seriousness, I didn't find these jokes funny, and he'd apologize and say he'd never do it again. Well, today, he made another offhanded remark, like it just slips out of him, and I had enough. I said I finished my meal and was ready to go home, which he didn't mind because we'd been at the place for 3 hours at that point. I drove back home and he sent up a follow-up MSG that it was nice seeing me blah blah. I told him I wasn't interested in him anymore, and he was surprised given we had held hands and kissed on the 3rd date. I think as a girl, I tend to come off as being interested or welcoming by laughing, and still interacting with him, despite it all. So he was surprised by my sudden rejection, and I told him the truth. I laid it on thick. I told him he was a racist who needs a reality check and should stop fetishizing Japan because no normal Asian woman would ever date you. And the TikToks you keep spamming me were annoying and not funny at all. Leave me alone. He blocked me afterwards, and when I told my friends about what happened, they said I was such an asshole in the way I acted by giving him signals I was interested, and the way I texted him that rejection. But I don't think I am. Eita? Comment 1. You tried. You probably were interested at first, but then he showed you a side you didn't like. You told him his racist jokes weren't funny, and he said he'd stop. He didn't. You told him the truth. That you were no longer interested, and why. How would that make you the AH? More people need to be truthful with people like him. It probably won't make a difference, but you tried. End of story and NTA. Comment 2. Once he used unpleasant words and so-called jokes in his conversations with you, it was your right to be blunt. Being a racist is sadly a very deeply ingrained mindset, but maybe hearing the unvarnished truth from you helped some. I mean, what were you supposed to say? You're a really nice racist, but just not the guy for me. You either spoke your truth or said nothing. There's no nice way to let a racist down east, or really any reason to. You were harsh, I'll give them that. But it was your relationship to end, and you chose the exit that felt right to you. I have a feeling his remarks hurt you more than you realized, which is why you were harsh. Unless your friends know how it feels to be treated in a derogatory manner simply due to your race, their opinion is meaningless. Comment 3. I think as a girl I tend to come off as being interested or welcoming by laughing. Girl, first off, stop! Stop thinking that you misled someone by being nice and friendly. Your friendliness showed you were happy to talk with him, yes. But your stern disapproval equally showed that you don't like his racist jokes. If one can be taken as an indication, then so is the other. He tipped the scale on his own. NTA. He may have an Asian fetish.
Next story. AITA. If I don't help my estranged husband with a place to stay, I, 35F, separated from my husband, 39 me, 3 years ago, due to cheating. We have 2 children together, 15F and 14M. He moved in with his affair partner after the separation. He recently found out she is cheating on him and wants me to help him with a place to stay. And I'm torn with what to do. No, we aren't divorced yet. Yes, I still care about him and his well-being. No, I'm not in love with him. Part of me wants to let him drown because he chose to ruin his family for her. But at the same time, I feel bad and don't want him homeless. I won't go into details about why he has trouble securing his own place to stay. Our co-parenting relationship is very rocky. Sometimes is really good, but sometimes it's very bad. I've suggested family counseling before to help navigate this change in our children's lives. He always refused, stating, I only wanted it so we could get back together. But now he's agreeing to therapy. I feel like now he's doing whatever I want because he needs a place to stay. After getting cheated on, he came to me and apologize for cheating, for hurting me and ruining our family. I told him he's only apologizing because he's experiencing what I went through and it sucks. Not because he's sorry he cheated. I'm torn about what to do with him. I would love help with bills. He was always the provider and I was a psalm. So having to start working and pay bills was not fun, but I'm managing. Allowing him back would lessen the burden on me. He's great with the kids and has them 50-50, no need for child support. But we still haven't managed to get our fighting down. We agreed to therapy for just us. I agreed, because we could use help on getting along for the sake of the kids. But I'm wondering if he'll use that to try to get back together. I will let it be known in therapy that if we do get back together, it'll have to remain an open relationship because I will never devote myself 100% to him again. She doesn't know he knows yet, so they are still living together. A huge part of me is saying to let him suffer. He chose her over his family. But deep down, I still care and want to help. Comment 1. As someone who's been in a very similar situation, NTA, YWBTA if you let him back in. Take a step back. Remove yourself from the situation entirely. What sort of example are you setting for your kids? If they're boys, you're showing them it's okay for men to treat women like this. If they're girls, you're teaching them it's okay to let men treat women like this. If parents don't get along, 9 out of 10 times it's better for the kids long term if they split. If he's legitimately a good dad, he will still be a good dad if you don't live together. Edit. Your kids are old enough to understand what's going on. They know their dad left and chose another woman over their family. Why not sit them down and ask what they think of the situation? They are old enough to have an opinion. I completely understand the urge to be kind, but people take advantage of that. Comment 2. Really OP? What a bunch of blah blah blah. You're out of his mess. Why would you choose to go back to it? Cut the cord. Be a good role model for your kids. Comment 3. NTA if you refuse to take him in. He is now love bombing you in order to secure housing since Plan A failed. How long till he runs off with his next partner? A question that cannot be answered without a time machine. Don't let guilt allow him take advantage of you or let him back into your life.
Next story. Ita for denying my sister's lies in front of her in-laws. I am 25F and have an older sister. Kate 30F, she and I were never close due to our age difference and because she hated that our dad married my mom and had me after divorcing her mother. Kate claims dad told her he never loved her mother and that my mom was his true love. That our dad always compared the two of us and asked her why she has to be a difficult child, and that overall dad loved me more. On the other hand, dad claims nothing she says is true, that she was very problematic and insolent. These claims are backed up by my mother and dad's parents, so I assume Kate was never 100% honest. Anyways, these are their problems that do not concern me. Some time ago, Kate reached out to me and told me she got engaged. I said congrats and everything. She told me she has a favor to ask. She told me her MIL is very family-oriented, and it does not sit well with her that Kate is estranged from her family. In her words, future MIL considered something is also wrong with Kate, and she is also to blame for being no contact with her family, fearing Kate will also influence her son to do the same thing. What Kate wanted from me was for me to meet her in-laws for them, to see she does not hate her family. I joked that future Mael sounds a little insane, and I agreed to help her because at the end of the day, I never hated her, and I don't think she hated me neither. The fact we are not close does not mean we hate each other or want bad things to happen to the other one. Anyways, I went to meet Kate, her future husband, and her MIL and FIL at a restaurant. They are very nice people and very warm. At some point, MIL said something along the lines that she is happy to see that the abuse we suffered did not affect our sisterly bond. I was confused and asked, what abuse is she talking about while Kate tried to change the subject? Emil says it's okay. I have nothing to be ashamed of, and that she knows from Kate our parents abused us while growing up. I clarified that this is not true. We were never abused by our parents or anyone in our family. We were raised in a very loving family. We were never hit or spanked no matter what we did. Our parents are well off, so we always had everything that we wanted. Clothes, phones, laptops, cars, etc. Mill got very, very angry. She apologized to me and started insulting my sister. She called her a liar, accused her of being manipulative and trying to insert herself into their family by being dishonest. What happens is that Kate accused our parents of many things that are not true. Now Kate is accusing me of ruining her life. She says her engagement is over, the in-laws hate her, and her fiancé does not trust her anymore. The thing is, I don't think I did anything wrong. I cannot sit and hear people blasting my parents for her lies and for things that never happened. But still, I'd her for telling the truth.
Comment 1. NTA. Kate rolled the dice with a fake sob story and lost. I'd have done the same. Nobody gets to slander my parents, just to look good. Sucks for her, but that's on her lies, not you. Comment 2. 100% agree with this. Kate Farfo. She never expected to have her lies trotted out, especially in front of someone who knows they were bald-faced lies. I hope you let your parents know exactly what happened, every detail. Cut that toxic liar out of your life. I wonder what she has said about you behind your back. NTA. Comment 3. Kate thought she could roll a 7 with her sob story, but instead she crapped out. Sorry, not sorry for her. When you play with fire, sometimes you get burned. At least now she knows that the truth is a much better strategy than a game of who can cry the hardest. Last comment. I don't know. OP kinda sells this post from the golden child perspective. Older sister was upset by dad moving on with his do-over family. OP doesn't show any empathy.
If you like the stories, feel free to hit the like button, share, and subscribe.